your day-to-day. Most of the knowledge you're learning is either from tastings you're in or people you're surrounded by. My morning is trying to disconnect more than it being connected.
Knowing a subject inside and out takes passion and time. An accomplished sommelier and beverage director for some of the best restaurants in London, Seamus Sharkey knows wine and the industry. That success has been built over long nights in the past and now structured starts to the day, allowing for a moment to exercise and recharge before the day begins. This is how the mornings help him rise and shine.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Today for being here. We always like to start with what wakes you up in the morning and what's your first thought?
How early it is most of the time. But yeah, my wristwatch is what wakes me up. So yeah.
And how early is early?
I know that. Not early for people with kids, but 6 o'clock is my wake up time.
All right. And does that change? You've obviously you work in hospitality. There's probably late nights. Does that change, or is
Not
it always?
I'm kind of retired from that late nights. So I'd say no. Every morning for Monday to Friday it's 6 o'clock. So
okay. And what's the next thing? You wake up.
Coffee.
Yeah.
Straight in. Yeah. So normally like snooze a bit, 6:30 up, coffee. Yeah, I'd say that at least 2 cups before 7 job.
Okay.
So.
And have you got like a proper process? Is there a
Yeah, I mean, you'll see a bigger process from a few other people that you'll interview later on that are slightly more serious to their coffee programs at the home. But yeah, I mean, I've got a mocha master. One goes into the thermos that goes to work, and then 2 cups go to me, and then one goes to Ellie on the way out the door. So.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
And is there that time? Take a bit of time to make the coffee. Do you find that kind of valuable time? Collect your thoughts, figure out what's happening in the day, or is it?
Yeah, I mean, those that know me, I'm weirdly methodical. So I wash my face, load the coffee machine, have a shave, coffee machine goes on, come out the shower, go to the coffee machine's ready. Then I have half an hour to myself.
All right.
So normally, like, it's podcast normally, or an audio book, and then I try and leave the house by 7:30 to go for a swim.
All right. Have you always been that methodical in the morning?
Normally, because I used to be way more hungover, so that wasn't as methodical when you got a hangover. I'd say like the last year and a bit, that's been my goal, is to be in a pool by 7:30, before 8 basically, is to be in the pool.
Okay, cool. And is that what kind of made the change? Why did you make a change to be more methodical? Is it just to be more productive, like you say, to get out of the house?
I suppose, yeah, kind of just lent into a routine, and it's become a routine, I suppose. It's not something that I thought too much about, wanting to have more time out the house. I suppose I like the half an hour I get in the morning. There's a seat I sit in, space where I have my coffee. And then I think the swimming's just made a big difference to my process time, because you get half an hour of doing nothing else apart from swimming. So
yeah,
maybe that's why I've got a bit more routine before I go swimming, because the swimming is the thing that I'm trying to get to.
Yeah. And that half an hour you have to yourself, you're obviously very busy, you know, the world that you're in is kind of always happening. Is that half an hour, will you check your emails, will you look at work at all, or it's just completely off of that? Normally I get some really shit messages off Instagram off my mates that are really bad memes that they've sent me that I have to process from the night before. Fair enough. I try, and that's like audiobook, podcast, sometimes Wingspan. That gets played, but yeah, I'm not really. It's pretty depressing just reading the news in the morning, so it's not something I normally do. Fair enough.
Yeah.
So then you've gone through your routine, you get out, and then you mentioned obviously the swimming. Is that something that's new? Have you only just started that, or have you always done that?
Last 3 years has been like it's 4 to 5 times a week.
Okay.
And it's normally before work, and it's just that. I think when you work in London, everything distracts you. So like, to find an exercise that doesn't distract you is the reason why I think I chose swimming.
All right.
And I do that 4 to 5 times a week, and then in the office by 9. So, but yeah, I think that's if there's anything that I wouldn't want to change. 1 is mainlining coffee, and 2 is the swim side of things.
Yeah, that's quite a valuable. We've spoken to quite a few people who obviously exercise in the morning, and I think they find it a really valuable time to like break between home and work, and also, like you say, just to switch off. Like, you can't really think about much else. You just sort of.
Yeah, I suppose I'm pretty lucky at the moment. Like, I don't have anything to rely on me in the mornings, right? So like, it's quite a selfish routine, but it makes it a little easier to have that flexibility, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And then you work in hospitality, you work in restaurants and wine. Is that takes quite a lot of knowledge, and there's quite a lot you have to learn in that. Do you find the morning a good time to like think about that stuff or learn about that stuff, or do you?
I think most of that. I think because there's just so much of knowledge pieces and osmosis through work, as in like your day to day. Your most of the knowledge you're learning is either from tastings you're in or people you're surrounded by.
Yeah.
I think most of it is my morning is trying to disconnect more than it being connected. So I'd say like, yeah, most of the podcasts I listen to are about World War II or rugby. So they're nothing to do with work.
Yeah.
And there's same on my audiobooks. Like I'm just working way through John Lawton's books at the moment on audiobooks. So I rarely have a morning where I'm like, I want to pick up a wine book or pick up a decanter or whatever it may be, or common terms. I think most of that just comes through having a job where you're constantly interacting with humans about the subject matter. So I don't think I like the need to level up in the morning. It's more of a switch off.
Yeah, nice. And then there's quite a lot of travel, I guess, with your work.
Yeah, fair chunk. Yeah.
And is there anything? Do you try to exercise when you're on the road?
Swim is kind of like the If I can, I'll swim. My body's wrecked from running, so I can't run. I can't run, and I can't really cycle very far. So yeah, if I can, I'll swim. So that would be like, I don't know, if there's a possibility of doing that, I'd always try and choose a place where I can get a pool in.
Yeah.
But the travelling slowed down compared to where I used to be. I mean, I used to travel way more for work.
Yeah.
And now I don't travel as much. But when I do travel, it's, I suppose that trying to find a pool in New York's a hard thing. You'll be aware of that. But there's not many public pools.
No, it's not easy. And you probably don't want to be in any of the public pools in New York. No. But that's that's quite a good thing to have as a constant. Again, we've had a few conversations with people, and exercise remains a constant for a lot of people. Like, because no matter where you are, you can probably find, sometimes it's difficult to find a pool, but you can find some way of getting that release and like kind of get you ready for the day, I guess.
I wouldn't even say it's a release. It's more of a switch off than a release, because swimming's impact is just so low that you can be able to just constantly exercise as much as you want without it feeling like I've got to warm down or warm up, or you can kind of just get in and crack on. I do now listen to audiobooks in the pool too, but that's only a recent thing.
Yeah. All right.
Technology's got better.
Yeah. And you said you used to travel a lot before. There was a lot more going out when you were younger, maybe. Is that like, what was your routine like?
Once upon a time,
I
used to have a fancy wine buying job, and that basically meant that people took me to nice places to drink nice wines. Now I deal with tonic waters and draft beer, so it's a little less glamorous going to a brewery. And
fair enough.
To be fair, our tonic water comes from Athens, which is pretty nice. But anyway, so I suppose there's just I do less buying. Therefore, most of my work is more spreadsheets and numbers and less travel. So
was there a routine when you were doing a lot of travel and going out a lot, when it was more night based, or was it
a lot of Baroccas? Yeah.
Just trying to survive.
Just basically, Baroccas and paracetamol, even if I hadn't got a hangover. No, I mean, again, it'd been exercise, but I probably was, my knees weren't wrecked then, so I probably was swimming a bit more, running a bit more. So, it's depending on where you're at, I suppose. Like, if you're in wine regions, you're normally in the countryside anyway, so you get a bit more into nature than you would do if you lived in central London. Yeah.
And have you found what benefits, I guess, have you seen from having a bit more of a routine in the morning, being a bit more like methodical, like you said?
I think just giving yourself a bit of time back after having like a busy day at work. And if you like, by the time I've got home, there's not a window to do things that mean you relax apart from cook and go to bed. You know, so I suppose most people would do it the other way around, where if they came in at 5, they've got that 5 till 7:30 slot. But if I'm coming back in at 7:30, 8, 9 from work, then I'm having to find it the other side of sleep.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I just think it's just a different way of structuring your day. It's the same time per day. People just do it afterwards because they finish earlier. Yeah,
that's an interesting way to think about it. I think, and
I think even when I was in service, that had been a really clear thing for me, was that like non-negotiables were like 12 till 2 a.m. I'd still be up because I was like, well, everyone working 9 to 5 takes 5 till 7 to do the same thing as I'm doing now.
Yeah.
So I think that was always a piece of wind down, that I couldn't just switch off work and then go straight to sleep, or the other side of it.
Yeah, it's valuable time, and I think I think for a lot of people, maybe the mornings aren't recognized as valuable time, I guess. Like you say, like it sounds like you use it very well as that to get you that space that you maybe don't have at the end of the day.
Yeah. And sometimes I just stare at a wall for half an hour and think about why my coffee doesn't taste that nice. You know, it's like...
Just anything.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Is there anything outside of the swimming, is there anything about your routine that you could you can't do without?
I think it's just it's a placebo effect now, but like multivits, a shit ton of multivits and like hydration tablets, and like alongside that with coffee. I suppose there's just things where you're just like, these must be good for me because you've paid a lot of money for them, so therefore they're good for you, you know. So there's an element of that. And then I say on an audiobook or podcast piece, that's often fuels a lot of conversations through the day. So like, I don't know, like especially on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because all of the podcasts are rugby based for those 3 days. Like if I'm speaking to mates who don't work in the industry, most of my conversation then is about what happened that weekend. So I suppose that fuels a bit of conversation. Nice. Not that everyone's interested, but that's my thing, I suppose.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah.
Nice. And then is there anyone we'd like to ask everyone, like, is there anyone's morning routine who you would like to know about? And it could be like someone you know, it could be a
half
celebrity.
people is just a blag. Like no one's putting their face in ice cold water from Evian bottles, you know, like it's just a load of rubbish. And anyone who pretends they have a more structured routine, even I'm weird and OCD, so therefore I've got a bit of structure, but there's no one doing bigger amounts of structure than that. I just think everyone's life, especially in London, is just pretty non-stop, that no one's got it. There's obviously people where, like, my business mentor always replies to messages like non-stop, and I've always thought that they've got someone that does that for them, because I just think, how can you have so much responsibility in multiple different aspects of different businesses and then still be on the button for conversations that are outside of that? So I suppose there's always people that I think that work at a high level of certain industries and businesses that I'd be like, how do you manage? Something's got to give. Like at the moment, I've got nothing to need to give because it's me and my girlfriend in a flat, and she doesn't get up till 7:30, so it's kind of like the perfect period of time between that, you know. Whereas like, how does everyone else who runs big businesses and has large families and travels?
I think that you say, like, I'm with you, like the whole putting your face in ice water and stuff seems crazy, but even what you do is like simple, but it's structured and it gives you that time. So I think you can find time without having to do too much, probably. Yeah,
and I suppose the nice thing about like hitting the pool every day is that if I can't be asked to swim, I just sit in a sauna and think, well, I should be probably in there, but this is quite nice, you know. So it still gets you out of the house to have a half an hour process to yourself, right?
Yeah. Cool. All right, well, thank you very much for your time.
Nice to be here.
Appreciate you being here.